Hi, and welcome to the latest of our Icelandic road trip videos. This is part 3, and where we get to see the Northern Lights. And we'd love you to subscribe so you catch this and any future adventures. So a recap on the whole route, which is over 11 nights with 9 stopovers, and we're running in an anti-clockwise direction around the country. And this was captured over 2 days from the 18th and 19th of March 2018. Today's route will take us from our farthest eastern point to Akureyri, Iceland's second city. So without further ado, let's make that journey from the east to the north. And what a beautiful start to the day it is. This is the most snow we've actually seen on our journey, apart from the flight in. And you may notice the yellow guide poles on either side of the road to help you find your way if they're snowed over. And our first stop is for this frozen river. And you'll find that your journey is pretty much the same. You'll find somewhere where there's parking, stop and take in the view. In fact, that'll be the story of your adventure around Iceland. You'll have points that you want to stop at, points you want to see, but there'll always be other places that'll pop up. And this journey is about the route and not the destinations. And this is a good example. We found this waterfall by the side of Route 1 and took the opportunity to spend 10 or 15 minutes exploring this natural wonder. And now for a few of my driving tips. Please check, but at the time of recording in 2018, the speed limit was 90 km per hour on tarmac and 80 km per hour on gravel. Obviously there's other speed limits that you'll see as we cross bridges etc. and you come into towns. Be very wary of parking on verges. If they're covered with snow they can hide a multitude of sins, or if not they could still be softer than you actually think. Plan your comfort brakes and fuel stops carefully. As you can see, there's not a lot on the open road, so work around the towns. They provide you the facilities you need. When you stop, always try to park into the wind. It'll make the door a little bit more difficult to open, but it will stop it being ripped out of your hand and landing you with an inexpensive repair bill when you return the car. Then we've got a few other things you may want to consider packing. 1. A USB rechargeable torch, a USB cigarette charger, and finally a good old-fashioned paper map. And then about halfway through our journey for the day, had a leg stretch and took in the beautiful views and made a decision. Would it be one I come to regret? And Janice takes to the wheel, so eyes forward and wave to our nice viewers. And another word about driving in Iceland. It's easy, it's straightforward. Stay relaxed, stay alert, stay sensible. I have to say on this trip, this was one of my favourite parts of the journey. Sometimes the landscape was just breathtaking. And this is one of those points where the speed limit drops to what appears to be a painfully slow 30 km per hour. But to be honest, I prefer that to the options either side. Now our next destination was a pair of waterfalls that sat on a road with possible restrictions, so we checked out the Icelandic Road and Coastal Administration's app and website to verify accessibility. And the good news is we got a green light. I'll pop a link for the site in the description below. And now we arrive at Dettifoss. It's then a relatively short walk along the path until you come to our second waterfall. But wait, is that a rainbow I see appearing? Fed by the off-spray from our next waterfall, Selfoss. And from the snow and the power of water, it's only a short drive until we reach the almost alien landscape of a geothermal park. This is where the land boils and strange aromas emit from the earth itself. You should be pleased that's the one thing I can't give you, the smell of sulphur. I find this place fascinating, to see the earth at work. Now, there's one thing I want to touch on. All of the things that you've seen in this video today, all of these natural wonders are free. Free to visit, free parking. And another point to note, that safety is your responsibility. There's no one here to stop you doing anything stupid, other than your own good common sense. There's barriers where it may not be obvious, but other than that, it's down to you. And now a little time-lapse view from our hotel overlooking Lake Mjøvatn. But the best was yet to come, as that evening we got to see the Northern Lights. Now I know this footage isn't that great, but it was shot on an iPhone 8 like the rest of the footage in this video. But I wanted to share with you what was a magical experience. So after what was a magical experience the night before, we had the relatively short journey to Iceland's second largest city, Akureyri. It being a relatively short journey, it gave us the opportunity to explore and take in some of the wonderful landscape around Lake Mjøvatn. If you've enjoyed what we put together here, then don't forget to hit the like button, and why not subscribe to catch more of our journeys. And it's not long before our first waterfall, the rather magnificent Gollafoss. Now I want to touch on those earlier safety tips I mentioned. It is up to you to take care. Janice stepped forward towards the snowy ledge. However, I saw it from a different angle and thought that's probably not the best of ideas. Although to be fair, a little later on in our journey, I almost fell down a hole. It's safe to say you can get as close as you want, but do take care. And now a tale of woe, really. We had planned to visit another waterfall. We knew it was on a restricted road and it could be difficult. Anyway, we headed off, we had the time. And we come across this wonderful view, but no waterfall. We headed back across the river and further upstream, all the time enjoying wonderful views. But there's a sad tale at the end. We didn't get to see the waterfall. The road just looked too treacherous, and even with our little 4x4, I think my lack of skills, I was just cautious that talent would run out. So after spending 40 minutes trying to find this elusive waterfall, this was the view that we finally got. Anyway, back on the road again, and isn't it just fabulous? And another unplanned stop. But this just looked glorious as we were driving towards it, so guess what? Stop, take it in. That's what it's all about. So with plenty of time in hand, we took a little detour to a fishing village we liked the look of. Our planning for this whole trip was to head off after breakfast by around about 8:30-ish and to make sure we're at our final destination by 5 p.m. It's very difficult to plan with any accuracy because you just don't know how often you're going to stop and for how long. But it then does give you the opportunity to get back to your accommodation at a reasonable time. And it's nice to come across the unexpected, like this open-air museum of a manor farm and rectory built in the traditional style. And then a detour to another little small fishing village not that far outside Akureyri. It's your own journey, your trip. Make it something special for you. So that brings this video to a close. I really hope you like what you've seen and you do consider subscribing and clicking like. Thanks so much. Happy and safe travels.